This is where it's at. Do lots of things. I'm in and I do things. Like, do things, make money, do things doing this, do things doing that, make money doing that. Like,
and I think it's, just as the technology is evolving and ebbing and flowing, like, this year we're doing custom GPTs, and this year we're doing, Claude bot, chat bot things, and next year it'll be something else. I feel like our businesses are going to ebb and flow like that as well, because our ability to execute in those businesses is going to get way better. And like, what's going to happen is, well, this business is super relevant right now, and 6 months from now, some new technology comes out or some new shift in culture comes out where that's not as important. So that can sort of diminish in value, but this one gets bigger. And so I think I think, again, this comes back to us understanding who we are, what we value, and then just being able to look across these things. And if you're nimble with the tools, being able to connect them all together. And I know we're bringing Eugina up, and she's going to talk about bringing sort of disparate systems together into one. I think I'm looking forward to a future where we can have these multiple businesses, but we can have a single interface, right? A single system that's connected to all of them. And it's like, oh, I want to up the marketing on that one. I want to reduce the marketing on that one. I want to fix the financial piece of that one. And just the thing goes and does all that work. And we can literally just sit there in the middle and be, who we are and what we are.
And as the orchestrator, like physically, metaphorically, right? Like spiritually, we're in the middle of all of these things, and sitting there like in a terminal and being able to orchestrate all of that work happening around you is pretty powerful, and a very, very different way of doing things that I don't think is going to actually come naturally to very many people. It is very foreign to sit there and think, I'm going to run this whole thing from this little chat box, essentially.
Yep.
But it's doable. And it's one of the things that we've been running into. I have a couple of hot tips for people as we've been taking our Claude Code, like agent life, from just me, let's see what Ann can build today, to like a full
I'm Ann, I do things.
I do things. Hold my beer, I'm going to go build an agent workforce. So we had the opportunity to do it twice now, because we lost all the agents the first time, and now I'm rebuilding them. But one of the things that has been really, really cool about it is seeing how I can build continuity around these brands, these entities, these systems, these flows, so that I can be me going into it. But what's the biggest unlock for me so far is being so stubborn that I will not go out into another tool. I will only work with Claude Code. I will not go out and get some API or some Claude. Either Claude Code is doing it or it's not happening. That's my new rule.
And why is it? Just so that you don't get overwhelmed with all this? Yeah, because it is.
We start creating workarounds for all the little techie thing. If you think about it, if you listen to Claude at 9 o'clock on this morning, it would be telling you it doesn't do automated. It doesn't connect to Google Drive today. Right. So you can't ever listen to it. So you have to constantly say, no, I'm not going to go out and set up an account, a Google Workspace account, because you're telling me you can't attach to it today. So that's our thing, is if you have to go outside the terminal, there has to be a really, really good reason, because that means we've broken the chain. And now when we want somebody else to do the thing for us, it's going to be harder because we made up our own little special system.
Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. I have two humble brags. They're not humble brags. I'm just downright bragging.
Let's hear the brags. We're here for it.
So you know how Adam was kind of remedial challenged? He was.
Well, I think Adam thought you were, but okay. I mean, there's two sides of every story.
It is possible. It was an education situation. It was a fathership issue. It is possible.
Ooh.
But he couldn't. So what would happen was, when I would talk to him, he and I would design a little newsletter thing. And then I'd say, okay, you're going to send that every day, right? And then he wouldn't. And every day I would get a note from him saying, I can't send it because I don't have access to Google. And I would say, yes, you do. And then he would respond, oh, you're right, I do. And then and then I'd say, so can you fix that for tomorrow? So this went on for a month. But this is an actual newsletter that Adam sent on his own without me asking. This is a Great Repurpose. It's 5 news stories that are related to the Great Repurpose and how they tie into the Great Repurpose every day that comes to us. And so that's working. So that's
congrats. So he goes out and he finds those for you.
So Adam entered the school and he's sitting in kindergarten now.
Okay.
Yes. He's on the inside of the school. And then the second was last night, for Storyvine is an automated video editing storytelling platform. We use a third party to assemble our videos. And if that third party, God forbid, would go out of business, our Storyvine would be not so in business. Like we would have to find another one, right? So I went to Claude Code last night and I took a pile of our XML that made up one of our videos and I handed it to Claude Code. And then I said, here's the API documentation from this third-party vendor. Use FFmpeg to basically replicate that and make me a video rendering engine. And this morning I woke up and there was a rendered video out of our XML. Wasn't perfect, timing wasn't great, but like I went from like having a full-on dependency to basically an hour of my time. I've got the beginnings of a replacement of a third-party vendor that just makes my company much more stable. So I'm just like, we're just kind of living in this world now where you can just do stuff, right? I'm Kyle. I do stuff.
Yeah, you could just do stuff. And the biggest unlock that I have found for regular everyday people like me and you, and even in this example, I include, even though it's your company, I include you in that, is just like take as much information as you have on a technology that sounds pretty dope, that might have something to do with yours, and just shove it all into Claude Code and find out how close Claude can get to just making it for you. You'll be very surprised.
I will also say this, Anne, I'm sure you experienced this. When Claude Code first came out, I tried it and it was so technical. It required so much duct taping together stuff. It was just awful. Now it just does its thing and then it like opens up a window with your fully built application. It's pretty slick. Like if you're intimidated because it's called Claude Code, just go in there and do it.
No, like do it just because it's retro. Do it to get inside the terminal and like you're in a little Carmen Sandiego kind of Oregon Trail type moment, little cute nostalgia moment for you. And the neat thing is that if you do work in that space, it is, for some people it looks ugly, for some people it's no problem, but you are operating a little bit, you're flying a little closer to the sun in that there's not as much of a system prompt that is guiding the chatbot to guide you, right? You're not getting massaged by the bot quite as much when you're working in the terminal. So for people who don't like the feeling of kind of like the AI kind of runs with what it thinks you were wanting to hear, this is the antidote to that. It's not going to get rid of it entirely, but it is much less, for me. I really, really appreciate not having to think what it's thinking quite so much to know what it's doing with my words, my ideas.
Exactly.
You know?
And it coming back, that's an awesome idea, Anne.
It's an awesome idea. I'm like, that's the literal stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Well, let's do this. I want to get Eugina up here. I'm really excited about the conversation. So if you have not joined the AI Salon, please do so. So go to the salon.ai, join the community. The AI Salon is a community of about 4,000 people that are optimistic and exploring and trying to figure out this AI stuff. We've added a whole bunch of new programming into the AI Salon Mastermind. I'm really excited about it. We're fleshing out programming around the Great Repurpose. So Andy Scarantino is about to do a 4-week course on separating your identity from your job, which I think is actually going to be really, really important. And we've got a leadership series with Dakota Coons coming up. So if you haven't been to the AI Salon in a while, do that. We've got all sorts of exciting new stuff coming up. So for example, and I don't even know if you know this, we are going to pull both office hours and AI Learning Lab inside the salon. So you will actually watch it from within inside the salon. So rather than having all these disparate things, you'll be able to actually participate in the community while we're doing all that stuff. So I'm super excited about that. So with that, go check that out. Why don't you tell them about you've got this community too? Which
Okay. So She Leads AI. One of the really cool things about us is that we gather every single Saturday for 2 hours and we talk about the kind of stuff that we typically don't talk about in lots of other settings. Like we may be talking about how to use Claude Code to build your, bespoke sales enablement technology, but we're also going to be talking about, what it means when the person who occasionally did some of the data entry for that, or the person who is a contractor who was involved in your sales enablement, or what that means for them when you decide that you are going to build an agent, an agentic workforce, for example. So it's not just what's happening in AI, it's like what's happening with us in AI. Very, very important. And we have a context for having that conversation every weekend. And we also have an in-person conference. We have cohorts where we do AI education and we certify AI educators. Our next thing that we're launching is in fact going to be, I'm putting out into the universe, very, very likely to be a continuation of a conversation that started right here on the AI Readiness Project, which is we are very likely to be able to confer college credit and or micro-credentials to women who come through She Leads AI programs.
That's beautiful. Awesome. Love it.
So get involved.
Fantastic. Beautiful. Yeah. All right. Well, let's bring up our guest of the hour.
Yay. Hi, Eugina. How you doing?
Hello.
So glad you're here.
Welcome, Eugina. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are. Tell us what you're excited about. Tell us about unified AI, and then let's jump in and talk about all of the excitement of the world.
That sounds great. I've been taking notes. I've been listening, taking notes. Congrats. Your platform's doing amazingly. So it's, and especially giving credits to women in AI, because I was on LinkedIn Instagram, one of those platforms, and I saw a cohort of people innovating in AI, and there was one woman out of 25. One.
Yeah.
So,
we've got a cool little corner over here where there's a lot of women in She Leads, but even in the AI Salon, it is a healthy balance. It's
impressive. Yes.
And that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Because like all my career, I've been the only woman in the room. I spent 24 years in telecom. Right. Created a new market category there called Open RAN, basically disaggregating the sell side. Worked with predictive AI, worked on a predictive AI component for telecom, finished my career as chief marketing officer. And then I felt there was one more startup left in me. So, and I started Unified AI because what I identified is small to medium-sized businesses, enterprises. We all have a lot of different tools. QuickBooks, HubSpot, Gmail, like Anne, you were talking about, right? This doesn't talk to that one, and this doesn't talk to this one. So we build a platform that actually, and it's all patented, we have 5 pending patents, that makes those tools talk to one another, and it's built for non-technical people. Wow. You come and you talk to the platform, launching in 3 weeks.
Congratulations. That is awesome. That is awesome. I have been fighting with GitHub all day today, in part because of this, just what you're saying, like how hard it is for regular business, small businesses to make all of their applications talk to each other, and how the things that we need to know that they really do not help us make a difference in the world, but we have to do them in order to get to the part of our day where we get to make a difference in the world. Like your platform is so important for this, to allow people to be able to just do their jobs, do their work. Not this other stuff of hooking everything up and hoping hoping it works.
And praying, and yeah. Because like, how many tabs do you have open right now? Because it's all your tools. And sometimes my husband is a small business owner. So he, God bless him, he was my beta tester when we did it in November and December, and he's non-technical. So I'm so grateful. And he normally has so many tabs open, and all he wants to know is how much money he generated. And then he has to look through like 10 different tabs. And if leads that he's generating on Facebook or Instagram or Google words, Google, AdWords, if it's making any money, if the customers are converting. And unless you go and you look for deep analytics, you cannot get that. So, and even AI, it's very, Claude is smart, and ChatGPT and Gemini are very smart. They cannot get that information.
Yeah. Yep. It's funny. When I first started paying attention to this AI stuff, I did a podcast, and I talked about, in the early days of the World Wide Web, it was a relatively simple innovation. And I feel like you could sort of see into the future. If you looked at what the hyperlink was and what the World Wide Web was, you could say, okay, here's how that's going to affect media. Here's how that's going to affect, you could sort of see things coming. And I said on this podcast, with AI, I feel like it's so many innovations that I couldn't see the future. And I said this, I admitted this out loud. And a good friend of mine reached out to me, and he said, I think I have it. He said, I think that the future of AI looks like this. Our current world is so complicated that a lot of our jobs are interacting with these overly complicated systems. And he said, I think that, 5, 10, whatever the year is, that what AI is going to do is it's going to bury all that complication, and we're just going to have this simplified AI layer, which is essentially, it sounds like, what you've built. So can you just unpack, like, how did you get to wanting to build it? I think it's a brilliant idea, but then also share with us, like, what's the experience? So, if your husband just wants to see, am I making money or not? Like, does he see that from a single dashboard? Like, tell us about what you've got.
Yes. So when I came up with this idea, I was told that this cannot be built. So that was a motivation as well.
Yay.
And it's a combination of different types of innovations that we're building. And it's based, me and my co-founder, we come from telecom. So we're bringing in enterprise software, we're bringing our experiences from telecom, real-time insights, agnostic. Like, for example, we connect the apps, and we connect particular apps. It's, HubSpot or QuickBooks or Gmail or Slack. So into our system, they're agnostic because they are running either financial workflows, operational workflows, marketing workflows. So that's our innovation. And again, it came from, our experience in telecom, where we abstract that complexity. And
can I ask a question about that?
Sure.
Meaning, in telecom, you would get data from a receiver from different boxes, different machines, and you had to integrate all that data together. Like, what exactly was happening in telecom that you had to integrate things together? What was that experience?
So different, like 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G technologies, right? Yeah. So data and voice technologies. Like, for example, we recently switched to a different cell phone provider after like 25 years. And I didn't realize here where we live, there are blind spots. So, and I was going to join the call, and there was no cellular to send a text because it goes over IP. And then I realized that there's circuit switch callback. So when IP is not available, you can go to your call falls back to 3G network. So I was able to call, and I was able to say, listen, cannot make it because, no, IP network, no 5G.
Right.
So that's, in telecom, that's the innovation where there is multiple layers of service availability.
Yeah, of incompatible data, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then you pull that together, and that allows the end user to see kind of a single unified view of that data. You sort of are parsing what all of that data is, how it relates to one another. Is that a fair assessment?
It is, and it's all tailored to a particular user, because your needs might be different than my needs. You
Yep.
might want to know about the leads that converted, or operations leader might want to know about revenue. So you come to our platform. We have two adorable chatbots. One is called Uni, and the second one is Worky, because one chats and the other one works.
I love
And
it.
then you can talk and you can ask questions, and then you can run reports. So you can have dashboard and you can customize dashboard. So each single user has their unique experience based on the apps they use and their needs, because they might not be, sending invoices back. They might be doing something else. So it's all customized on what the user needs.
Love this. Love this. So you said that you had a moment where you thought, I think I have one more startup in me. What did that mean to you? What does that mean for the quality of your life right now? You must love this kind of stuff, or else you would be off traveling and basking, I'm sure.
So my son is turning 21, and that's the picture I have at my desk.
Little baby. He's gonna look big boy.
Yeah. So, and he actually helped me last year, helped me build a prototype, because I told them I gave you life. You know.
Oh, wow. I should have tried that one. I went with, I gave you college tuition and your food money and your beer money.
Yeah,
and I still get nothing.
What?
Gave you life. I gave you birth. I'm going to remind him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and I'm, and the reasons here, because he was always the reason why I traveled, why I worked so hard to provide good life, like you probably do for your families. Yeah. And we became empty nesters 3 years ago. And I realized, it's my time now. I can do whatever I want to do. So cool. And I reinvented myself.
Amazing. What's been your journey with AI? I mean, it sounds like you've got a technical background. Had you been following AI? You said you did predictive AI when you were back in your early, more technical days. Were you there ready and waiting for generative AI to show up, or did it show up and you were not paying attention to it and then you came to it? Like, what's been your journey to get from that more highly technical background to where you are now?
Great question, because we use sort of generative AI in telecom, because it generated reports, and there was similar training models, and then releasing them into the wild. So when generative AI, when 3 years ago now, when ChatGPT was released, obviously I knew that in 2016. Elon Musk gave Sam Altman, NVIDIA, computer to train the model. So obviously, I started using it, playing with it. And what was interesting, I'm now going to look at my notes, because you were talking about generative AI helping, right? Writing code or creating different workflows. And the note I wrote, you still need to know what you're doing.
Yeah, you
right?
did.
The reason, Kyle, you were able to create the video, editing platform, because you know what you're doing. If I went to Cloud Code, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
But as a former CMO, I generated incredible assets for my company, for the launch, because I know how to do it. I use notebook LLM.
Yeah.
So that's where it's a combination of generative AI and a human that knows what they are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's a human that has to. I'm curious about this for you as well. It's a human that has to be curious enough to follow what's going on with AI, but also adaptable enough not to get too locked into the thing that you built. We had HT Snowday spoke at the AI Salon last night, and he was talking about what he's learned in sort of 2.5 years. And basically, they've gone through 3 or 4 major phases where they basically had to throw out the entire workflow of what they did 6 months ago because a new thing has showed up. What's been your experience with how precious you get with the things you build, and how quickly are you letting them go? And what's that been like?
It's been interesting.
Yeah.
And for example, before the podcast, I was on a workshop, and it was go-to-market for early stage founders, how to help them automate workflows. And I've done it before, obviously. But what was interesting, they were talking about Claude, and I use Gemini and I use ChatGPT. So I'm like, I'm not going to use Claude because I'm not going to pay for another tool or learn another tool. How can I do it on Google Gemini? So while I'm listening to how they're doing it, I'm in my Gemini, workspace, and I am, going to Notebook LLM, and I'm pulling gems and things like that. So you're absolutely right, because this morning I said that, no, Kyle, it's not funny, because this morning I told myself the next people I'm going to hire, because, we're hiring, I'm only going to hire curious people.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
It's number one.
I think this is it. It's curious people. Like,
Curious,
are you curious?
vulnerable.
And are you a doer? Right? I'm in, and I do things. Right? Yeah, I think that's right.
You make such a good point. The curiosity is even more like important to me in these last couple of weeks, because as we've been bringing, it's 3 of us and we have a total of 6 contractors. So everybody's got to we're like, okay, it's Claude Code. Everybody's using Claude Code. If you're not using Claude Code, you're on your own. You figure out the adaptation, because I know, just like you did, you can learn one system and then just laminate it on another thing altogether. That's the curiosity. Look at the unlock that you got just by being curious. Can I do what everybody's yapping about in Claude Code in Gemini with the incredible suite of tools that are right there for you, many of them for free? You had the curiosity to do that, and as a result, you've got all these other people who are getting rate limited all day long, and you're cruising right along with your Gemini system. But I think that's a really good example of who are we going to hire in the future? It's going to be the person who's not going to say, I don't think we can do that. And that's the end of the conversation. And that's a period at the end of a sentence, right? We tried that before.
Yeah.
Or, oh, those 2 things don't talk to each other. Or, no, I think I have to go do some things. I don't know. It's like, well, be more stubborn. Have higher standards. I remember in the early days, Rachel Woods telling us, have high standards. Expect more from your AI. Be picky.
So how many folks do you have working for you right now? How old is it? When did you found it? Where are you in the journey?
So we're about to launch in 3 weeks. So we went through beta last November and December. It was founded a year ago.
Okay.
We built a prototype. We pitched at MIT. And then we just went into building our MVP, tested the hell out of it, went back and had to add some features because users wanted a chatbot. Users wanted, and we listened to them.
Yeah.
And we're about to launch. We got selected to be at Startup Grind. That's where we're launching.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we're also pitching at Venture Summit. So I'm going to be going to California twice.
Nice.
This spring. So, and it's all about listening to users and understanding what they need, because I'm not building for myself.
Mhm.
I want to be helpful to my future users.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
What an exciting time.
I know. I hold on. I'll be right back. You
Okay,
guys,
good.
but I just want to show you something.
You'll be right back.
It's so funny. I'm 14 years into Storyvine, and Salon's relatively new, but it's like the excitement of she's right at the precipice of launching.
Yes. Oh my.
So exciting.
Oh my goodness. It's such an exciting time. Oh, you've got
Oh,
the
yeah.
shirt. I love
So
it.
good.
This is what I was saying the other day. It's like, first of all, I've never wanted to wear anybody's logos. Like this is an exception because it's cute and it's got like warm, cozy feelings for me and my kids, but never wanted to wear anybody else's logos. I just felt like, I don't know, like I paid them to buy this shirt and now I got to wear their logo and they should pay me. And now I have a brand that I wake up in the morning and I'm excited. I get to wear the colors of my freaking brand. Like how dope this is what I wish for anyone with an entrepreneurial bone in their body, or even a speck, or even a maybe someday glimmer in their eye, like that you will have something that makes you want to wear clothing with it on it. That you feel that invested and that proud of something, and that you have the chance to make something that's yours, and that you would want to wear it on your actual human body.
Yeah. And then this comment to you. Thank you for listening to users, right? Like if you do that right, if you listen to users right, they will want to wear your brand, right? It's not just you get to wear it, you will create a kind of loyalty. Where are you in terms of, are you the technical lead? Are you the CEO? You're the CEO?
I am, yes. I'm not that, I can pass for technical. I come up with ideas. I have patents. I have a wonderful co-founder, Praneet Chivari. He is a former colleague of mine. Mm-hmm. And what was interesting when we used to work together, we worked for like 10 years. He was an engineer. I was a chief marketing officer. So I would go out there, talk about, vision, future features. And they're like, oh my God, Eugina is talking again. Now we have to build it. Now being a co-founder, technical co-founder, he's like, do your thing. Because
isn't that funny?
That's so good.
I love it.
So good. Are you comfortable in the public talking about the company, talking about things? Do you have deep experience there? Are you comfortable there?
As a former chief marketing officer, 100%.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. That's so exciting.
I love it. Like, I'm so grateful that, I'm here because it's just 3 weeks and you guys getting me so excited. It just feels so real.
Are you allowed to talk about your TEDx talk topic and stuff right now, or is it top
it's
secret?
Posted.
It's posted. Okay, talk to us about your TEDx talk and your TEDx experience. It didn't pop up in my search.
Oh, I don't know, because I was like, training algorithm, because that's how, you right. So the TEDx talk is about any type of technology giving ordinary people superpowers. And I talk about a story when I was growing up in communist Russia and I was in college, and I had to make some money, and I was working for an American company. And at the end of that office sat something that I never seen before in my life. It was a computer. And the employee expected me to learn it all by myself. And because I took that as a challenge and I learned it, how to use it, that's how my journey started in technology, learning things, building things, giving myself permission to become a builder, make mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's what my TEDx is all about, because AI is not going to build by big tech or Silicon Valley. It's going to be built by people like us, people that are on this podcast, the people are listening to us, because we are using AI, this wonderful new technology, for real, regular things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, can you say more on this? Because there are days when I'm so aligned with that, and I'm like, we're the ones, we're going to use the AI to solve the problems from our POV, and nothing without us, nothing about us without us, and then I think about just like the incredible power of the big tech world, and how do the two things kind of interface? How do we get to have the impact that we want to have when these just like 800-pound gorillas are here in our lives?
By building what we want to build.
Yeah.
They give us technology and we're making it our own. We're creating companies. You teaching women, right, how to use AI, how to build their own generational wealth. So just like with the computer, right? So 50 years ago, because Apple celebrated recently 50 years, yeah, of course, they, became millionaires, but so many people, ordinary people, they became and built generational wealth because they build businesses on computers, and same with the internet. So, and we also have more say in how AI is going to be developed, created, because we learned with dot-com boom. So there's companies like Anthropic. They're more serious about regulations and biases and ethics. So I think that's, it's going to coexist, and we have more voice than we realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's amazing.
Look at the companies you build, both of you.
That's true.
Right?
It's true. It's true. Well, and that's the thing is like what I love about working like at this layer is like I could say to any big company like, good luck. If you think you know what these people really want, I'm just going to promise you don't know. Because you don't know them, and you're not listening to them. And that really is empowering to be building things at this level that generates that creates an economy of its own. Really, we've created a whole economy because we can. Why not?
Yeah. It was HT Snowday said something yesterday. He was talking about in the context of his business, but he said, the tech group, they're all in on AI. They're doing all this AI stuff. And he said, for every 100 AI projects, probably 2 of them, survive the gauntlet, right? So it's just lots and lots of trying and iterating. But he said, what invariably happens is the thing that they end up keeping is not one of the 100 or one of the 2 that survived. It's some completely separate thing where they're trying all this stuff and they're like, oh, wait a minute. We could probably replace that really clunky spreadsheet with like some very simple thing that just will save that person 2 hours a day, right? And then they just do that. So a lot of the wins are these sort of peripheral things that are kind of the result of all this activity in the middle. And I feel like it's the same way with these ideas of starting businesses, is that it's really easy to start them. And part of that is just understanding what's possible with AI combined with you, right? With your ideas. And then some of that stuff's going to survive, but some of those just might be stepping stones to other ventures.
Yeah. 100%. So probably the most powerful and credible AI business has not been built yet.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just touching the surface, and anyone can build. Anyone, I strongly believe, anyone can have a great idea. Anyone can build a company if they want to. So the only person that can stop them is themselves. And especially with AI, you can do marketing, you can do, build an AI, and then you can bring people to help you if you don't understand like security or databases. All you need to do is, like we were talking, to be curious.
Be curious.
That's it. Be curious.
Be curious. And oh wait, let me say one more thing about the curious on two notes. Also, be curious about the people around you,
Yeah.
because trust that lots of the brilliant minds around you have not really been asked to bring their zone of genius to the fore before. We have a lot of very, very brilliant people around us in this world who have not been asked for their, asked for them to shine, for them to step forward, them to be in the spotlight, regardless of whatever their skill set is, right? So I think about, like, for me, the only limiting factor for Moxie, because my platform has been talking to me for 10 years, the only limiting factor for me was having a technical co-founder who I trusted. And when I say trust, I didn't just mean a good builder. I probably could have found a good builder more efficiently than finding a builder who I also trust as a partner in a business.
Yeah.
Right. So the builder that I chose to work with is somebody who now knows every single member of my whole entire family, including has done psychic readings on my number one dog. So that's the thing about where we are in this with the curiosity and the relationships is put yourself out there, front load that uncomfortable, front load getting outside of your comfort zone, because the things that you're doing now, you're planting the seeds for future you, which is like 3 months from now, because you could launch a company in 3 months. If you have an idea that's been burning inside you and you have enough connections to start finding somebody who knows a builder, if you don't think if you want more building, meet people.
Yep, that's really good. It's really good. Okay, something that we ask all of our guests: what does AI readiness mean to you? So there's no wrong answer here, but I'd love for you to just think about, what does AI readiness mean to you, and then what would you say to someone just getting started? So that curious person that Ann just mentioned, they're going to start a business 3 months from now. What should they pay attention to, and what does AI readiness mean to you?
So I think the theme for the show is being curious, and AI readiness is being curious. Yeah. There's so many new tools coming on the market every single day. So it's just being curious, being open, not being afraid to try, because this technology is very new, generative AI. Yeah. So what you don't know today, if you start today, in 3 months, with everything that's available out there, you will have a good understanding, good foundation. So AI readiness is being curious, not being afraid to start, and just simply starting. Who is stopping you?
Yeah, so good. It's so good. Eugina, I am so excited for your launch in 3 weeks. I can't wait. I hope we all get to play with it.
Yes.
This is so good. Here we go.
It's a perfect color for you, but I suspect that blue is your color.
Thank you. That's why, like, when you guys were talking about, your red hair and green, I'm like, okay, what color looks good on me? So I went back and I told you.
So good.
She knows blue's her color. She looks great in it. Congratulations. I can't wait to see what comes next. Let's stay in touch, because this is an exciting time for you.
Thank you very much for having me. This was, it's 7:00 my time, and I'm so energized.
Oh, so good. Thank you so much. This was awesome. Bye-bye.